Welcome to your reading, my friend. Let's go ahead and get started here. Oh God, I just like could not find your chart and so much confusion with the last name, but whatevs. It's all figured out now. So okay, let's hide the last name. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and share the screen, show you what we're working with here. So my program is being annoying and I can't full screen it. It's not a huge deal, but it's a little bit annoying to me. Yeah, okay, so let's load up the aspects. And also did I turn the clock on too? Okay. So basically, we've got a Scorpio male with Venus and Mars both conjunct in the 12th house in Sag, which is conjunct my moon. So that's there's a good reason why you probably felt the draw to get a ring from me, or like a innate understanding of my overall messages. Like it's like a definite good indicator. And then your Jupiter's on my Venus, so it's like we'd probably be good friends if we met or whatever. So that's cool. That's awesome. And then you have your South Node in Pisces with the North Node, and then Moon, of course, in Virgo with the North Node there too, and Ascendant in Capricorn. Let me get a sip of water before I really dive in. Okay, so no difficult Moon aspects. That's always a good thing. Always a good indicator for, like, I guess you could say, like relationship with the mother and just overall emotional nature. Now you do have a Virgo Moon, so I'll talk about that. But because that there's no such thing as good or bad in astrology. There's difficult and I guess easier for different planets and different signs. Like you can have, like, for example, uh, a Mars in Aries, which should be a very good, like, or very good, not very like like that's where you want your Mars to be, right? Because Mars is all about assertiveness and and action, and that's what Aries is all about. So, but then at the same time, if you had your Venus in Aries, that would be looked at as a very difficult placement, right? Because Venus, the planet of love, doesn't necessarily work so well in a sign that's so go-gettery. So basically, in one quick second, hold on. Yeah. Um, I was just responding to my friend. I like literally, you probably see my posts. Like sometimes there's just like ridiculous typos because I just type so fast. I'm more of a speaker. I mean, I'm literally a professional writer. Like this is the funny part, is that like if I apply myself, I'm very good with grammar and spelling and all that stuff. But you know, sometimes I just like, it's about getting the message across, and I have so much stuff going on that, like, I don't know, but I need to make I kind of had the realization today. I was like, I made like a story. This doesn't count with the reading, but I'm just talking because I think you'll find it funny. Like I made a story, like maybe I should just read it to you for a little comedy relief. You may have seen it, and then like I correct myself after. It's kind of long, but I was like, yeah, you see, I am unfollowing people so I can repost stuff, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. My plan is to follow accounts of people who A, I respect their work and content. B, reflow instead of refollow. Reflow anyone important that I may have unfollowed. Try my best not not to unfollow people I want to follow. Just trying to say not to unfollow. See, follow clients, internet friends who I really like. Also, just people who support me. Blah 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 blah. Just trying hats instead of hard to get rid of everything that doesn't need to be there. End goal, a page where I can support people who support me and repost interesting stuff. Send instead of and, really engage with other show accounts interest in general. And then my next thing was like, God, my spelling was scandalous in that last story. Haha, okay, I need to try harder. And my friend messaged me. She's like, Jesus, Jesse, like I was literally like gonna message you about that. And then the next slide was just like you like laughing at yourself. Yeah. Anyways, David. So let's talk astrology, why don't we? So as a Scorpio, right, with the moon in Virgo, they're two signs away. So you have moon sextile sun. It's not like an exact degree, but it still is close enough. I mean, elementally it is, which is like pretty much the most important thing. But then degree wise, it's close enough. When you look at the sun, the orb you can use for the sun is wider than the moon as well. So yeah, that's like a really, really good placement. It kind of means that like your masculine and your feminine energy are kind of in line with each other, if you want to put it like that. And yeah, so Scorpio and Virgo, both feminine energies. Scorpio, I mean, feminine signs, all the water, all the earth are feminine, all the fire, all the air are masculine. And obviously, I don't really need to say much about Scorpio sun. I'm sure you're very well aware, but you have Chiron on your Scorpio sun, which is very interesting. You have Mercury there too. And yeah, so how does a Scorpio sun work with a Virgo moon? Well, basically, so as you know, the sun in Scorpio, it's very intense. It's very passionate, very devoted. It's in the 11th house, the house of friends, organizations, larger, like kind of like your larger aspirations and goals. So when we have a follow up, I mean, we can talk about. I'll just tell you like a key word that you have to remind me of. It's called um, secret group, or just secret. Just say secret. Um, and yeah, and I see that in your chart. So basically, you know, you're really in this lifetime trying like you're a Scorpio, but the house of your sun is like really what says a lot about like where you're trying to in terms of AC on. It's like raining, it's still hot outside. Can't stand it. And I love the rain, but the heat is too much. So yeah, in essence, like, we're looking at Scorpio in the 11th, which is very much based on finding like-minded people, healing within groups. And having Chiron on your sun, it means that usually like it a lot of times it has to do with like pain that you felt around the father figure, and how that pain later turns you into like a healer of other people, whether it's in your profession or just your everyday life, right? And so no surprise, like, I mean, it's not like so common for people to have like Chiron on their sun, but I get lots of clients that have that. So big coincidence, right? Because I get lots of very empathetic people who want to help other people. Um, now, I try not to know anything or see any photos of anyone, but I just like somehow remember. I think you're like an actor or something, so that's like literally like this is like the first time in a really really long time that I've known even like a sliver about someone that I do a reading for. I try to like be very very objective and like kind of use the birth chart as like almost like how you would receive it if you were like 16, with your whole life ahead, with all the decisions of like career and all that to make still. But I believe in synchronicities, and I believe that I do know different information. I don't even know if you're just like a full-time actor, if you do like like lots of actors do modeling, or they'll do like different types of other things. And I forget if you're living in LA. I know you're from Ciudad de Mexico. Um, hablas, hablo español muy bien. I used to speak Spanish like pretty damn good. It's a lot like French. But then when I learned Romanian, it like replaced it. This is another little comedy, or not comedy, just a little like kind of lighthearted, like funny thing. So I went to like Barcelona, and I thought I could like because when I would drink alcohol, I don't really drink anymore that much. But when I used to like when I was in Barcelona, I always go there because my dad lives really close there, France, and I'll spend like a night or two in Barca. Love the place. Not love. I like it a lot. I don't love it. I prefer Mexico than Spain. Even though I do love Spain, I just absolutely love Mexico. I love Mexico. I love Mexico. I don't know what it is. I'm not talking about like the resorts and all that bullshit, which is beautiful. I'm talking about just Mexico in general. There's something about the people and um, just that vibe. I have lots of Mexican friends. One of my best friends is Mexican. Um, so she, I really love Mexico more than the U.S. If we're being really honest, a lot more. Um, so yeah, basically having, Sun and Scorpio in 11th house, like I said, like there's a big purpose around, healing yourself and in the father wounds, whatever that is. We'll talk about that in the follow-up. So make sure you take notes of like points that I say that, we should talk about in the follow-up, and also take your own notes and this, that, and third. So, we're able to kind of like speak about points that are important. So it's kind of like a mix of like questions you have, things that you're not so clear on, and then also. And by the way, I flip back and forth between showing my face and not. I found it to be more effective for me, in the sense that like I like to like walk around my apartment. I like to like sometimes I like literally like sit with like my crystals, and that sounds weird, but I don't think it sounds weird to you. But I'll like sit with my crystals and close my eyes and feel into the chart, because the chart, it gets it's already imprinted in my head, your whole chart. I'm like literally like not even in the same room right now. And I have different rooms, different energies, because I have like LEDs like everywhere in my apartment, like in every room. And different colors have different energies. And I'm literally just making this shit up as I'm saying it, but I swear to God, I do these things unconsciously. Um, like I don't like plan on that, but like then I realized, oh, that's why I did that, which is kind of weird. Not in a bad way, weird, but I just realized that about myself. Thank you. And this is what's weird. What's interesting also is has nothing to do with the reading, is that when I do readings for people who have charts that like where there's lots of commonalities, like with mine, I tend to get like downloads. Like I tend to like, even if I haven't met you, like I can feel your energy. I can feel a real friendliness, and like yeah, like it just kind of I tend to like I tend to do better readings, I guess maybe you could say. I do my best for everyone, but like for people who are like I really feel a strong vibe, like I think they tend to be better. Mm. And I'm flushing toilet right now. It's not. I didn't go to the bathroom. Something down the toilet. They're weird things to say. But yeah. So anyways, I don't think you even heard it because these headphones are the Bose ones where they got all the sound. But yeah, so I literally haven't said shit already so far. But basically, yeah, headaches, get out of the bathroom. Closing, closing down. Okay, so with that, like a lot of astrologers, they'll overlook the importance of like the most obvious thing, which is, sun and moon, right? Like what's the relationship between the two? Like if you think of the sun, you can think of like your identity, right? You can think of like your purpose, your like what you're really here, like what you're here, where you're meant to shine in life, right? And the sign it's in is like in what way you're meant to shine. So like with being a Scorpio, right? Like I'm a karmic astrologer, so I have my own belief system around like why we have like why you're a Scorpio, why I'm a Pisces, this, that, and the third. And I believe that you're a Scorpio because especially with your 12th house planets, you're really here and the rest of the chart will say more about this, but you're really here to like learn a lot about letting go and the whole death, rebirth, and transformation theme that's so heavy in Scorpio, so prominent. So that's kind of how Scorpios are, like that, like they're really meant to go through like massive transformations. You can't. There's a saying, like I don't know if it's like, well, the saying that I'm saying, you can't kill off a Scorpio. Like it's a sign that like rules death and healing. Like they're able to like really heal themselves. Like so like when they get sick and stuff, typically like they're able they have really strong healing powers in different ways, not just like healing other people and being like a professional healer, but also healing themselves. And that can have lots of implications. It can have implications for mental health, for physical health, for anything. Now, I'm not gonna like go deep into like Scorpio Sun, but you get it, and I'll circle back around to it. Go back to face mode. I know I look tired. I swear, I'm just like I didn't sleep very many hours last night because I had the secret meeting. But I'm very mentally good, which is and cognitively good, which is all that matters. So yeah, basically like with Virgo, how that how that works with Cancer, or excuse me, with Scorpio. As I say, I'm cognitively good. Um, there's this sextile, so that's like very good for kind of like if you think of yourself like a yin yang, or I like to give the example of more AC, get fucking cold. I like to give the example of like I always say like if you were a boat, if you were a boat and you had two captains, your sun and your moon, right? The sun, like I said, it's like your who you are, your purpose, your like identity, and the moon is like kind of like the emotional undercurrent. It's like what really runs the show. I could make an argument that the moon is more important than the sun. They're definitely tied, but I can make an argument that it's more important because um, you literally can't be happy and feel secure if you're not in line with your moon sign. And this has where the camera go? Heck, wait, what just happened? Where are you? Please say I haven't been talking to no one. Hold on. Wait, return to meeting? Haven't I hope I've been recording this whole time. Yo, this is weird. I don't know what just happened. And I can't check it without stopping the recording. Well, I didn't say much. Um, but basically, yeah, like um no, I don't know if you heard all the stuff I just said or not, but summed up, Scorpio, yeah, Scorpio, like I said, very healing sign, about healing stuff, everything with your father. Really, it's very important for you to find like-minded groups. And I told you to like tell me like the keyword secret group, and we have our follow up. And yeah, like you can be someone who could be like a professional healer, which can take any kind of form. Like people think it's just like an astrologer or a psychologist or a doctor. No, it can be anything. It can be like in your everyday life. And where your chart go? Why is your chart? Okay, there it is. So with Moon and Virgo, it works well with Scorpio and even with Capricorn because they're like sextiling, like which means they're each one is two signs away from each other. So, like if you were, like I say, if you were a captain, let's say even with three ships, like the ascendant is kind of like the mask that you wear, right? It's like the outer personality. So all three of them are very in line with each other. But like so it means like all three captains would be going like in the same direction. And like the moon, as I was saying, it's like very important because you can't be happy without your moon sign, right? You can't feel secure within yourself. So a lot of people like they miss out on astrology because they focus so heavy on their sun, but then if their moon is like way different than their sun, then it just doesn't make any sense to them. They're like, come on. So that's very important. Civility. Um, Virgo moons, you like it's in the ninth house. So that's a very interesting placement for a Virgo moon to have. Because that's like the house of Sagittarius. So it means that you're there's an emotional need for perfection. Like that's like the Virgo thing. Like the Virgo moons, they can be very, very critical about themselves. Sometimes it can mean that the mother, had very, very high standards for you. And I don't see any like bad, excuse me, I have cat hair in my mouth. Any bad energy or not bad, any difficult energy with your mom. Actually, it's very, very good. Very, very good. Um, and very, very karmic. But yeah, but like still having a Virgo moon on its own, and you don't really have that many aspects that are difficult. You have Sun square Uranus, Mercury square, that's I mean hard. Yeah, you only have one aspect or actually you have one aspect that's difficult, or two, with Sun conjunct and Mercury conjunct Chiron. It's also difficult. And is your Chiron in Scorpio, duh. So basically, like with Virgo moon, and you have your Black moon Lilith here too. So I just like had a whole webinar about Black moon Lilith, so it's fresh in my mind. Your level of understanding, like different philosophies, different worldviews, traveling. Like, so Black Moon Lilith, what I just learned today was so interesting, is like how it's like it has lots of different meanings. And on one of its meanings is like where your kind of dark side is, like kind of how like kind of like when you're at your lowest energy, what can come out. But it's also like where people are jealous of you. Like so like wherever it is, it's like where people feel jealousy towards you. So that being the same sign as your moon, it could relate to higher purpose, intellect, even. Like people could be jealous of your intellect and your worldliness. Betty, stop. Get away from a bubbly water boy. And yeah, so like it could be like if you're someone who like travels a lot, like it could be good to kind of like, I don't want to say like hide it, but not like flex it so much, if that's something you do. And when ninth house also rules, higher philosophy, higher truth. So it can also be related to that. But in Virgo, this goes to your moon sign, like moon in Virgo, there's this big thing where you have to really like look at yourself. Like that's why meditation is so important for Virgo moons, because they can have anxiety issues. As I said, there's not really bad energy like with the Virgo moon. It's very like well aspect. Let's see if there's anything that's like out of orb though. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, actually it is kind of square Pluto. My program didn't pick up on that, but it's in the 8-degree orb. So it's kind of like it's square Pluto, which is like one of the hardest aspects in astrology, but it's like a wide orb. So it's kind of like debated. It would be debated with astrologers, like whether that one would play out, but I would say it would play out. Let me actually look that up. Like I want to see what people have to say about this. Orb. Hold on. But basically like that, yeah, so like a lot of people say 8-degree orbs, and yours is 12 to 4. So yeah, I mean, it's right in there. It's right in there. So it's the very end. So it's not gonna be like as intense as like a normal moon square Pluto, but it's still gonna be, it's gonna be there. And then also with your sun, I think it's trine. Yeah, sun square. Where are you talking about that? Sun square, Uranus. And then what about Mars? Mars, let's see if there's anything, no opposites, anything 19. So 7 degrees. So yeah, and you have also Mars square Moon. So you do actually have some aspects. They're just my program is being weird. I wish I knew how to change the settings, but I don't know how to change the settings on like the aspects. But let's just see like what they say about like orb for Moon Mars aspects, because it's probably still 8. Yeah, like 8. So it's 12 to 19, so it's 7. So yeah, we'll talk about all that. So with the Virgo moon, as I said, like perfectionism is extremely important. There may have been like an overly strict and maybe even overly domineering mother. Um and what can happen, with the moon and Pluto together is that there can be this energy of real like emotional kind of like intensity, like real ups and downs, where you're like very, very, and it has completely so much to do with your Scorpio sun, where there's like lots, you're really in this lifetime being pushed towards that karmic death through birth transformation. Um, but on its own, Virgo moon people, they tend to be very, very practical. They just know how to get the job done. They know how to organize their life in a way that leads to success. And also, it's Virgo is kind of like one of these signs, a little bit like it's a very mysterious sign because people think of it as like this like OCD, very, and it can be like very, very like in the material world, but also it's the opposite sign of Pisces, right? So there's a level, I always call it earth magic to Virgo, right? It's very loyal, very, very pure energy. And the thing that they have to watch out for is that they hold themselves to such high standards that sometimes, and a lot of times, comes from the mother. Um, that like it's like the 100 or 0 type of thing, right? So it's like if I can't get to 100, then I'm just gonna let myself fall to 0. And what I tell every Virgo moon person I see is like, look, like for you, it's very important to be mindful, to learn techniques, mindfulness techniques. Meditation is like the best example I can think of where you're learning to get in touch with your self-talk, right? Because like, one sec. Um, for example, like when you meditate, right? When you sit, like a lot of people that like don't meditate, and I talk to them about it, they say the same thing. They say, I'm just a shitty meditator. I suck. Like I'm just bad at it. And I'm like, there's no such thing as being bad at meditating, you know? It's literally like something that it's like saying that like I can't, I suck at lifting. It's like you have to just start at lower weights, you know? So with meditation, you have to start at, you start, and we can talk about this more if you might be a master meditator already. So it's like, I don't want to like talk about meditation when you're like a better meditator than me or like a more experienced meditator. But like meditation is a great example of a time when that energy can come up because you'll like see that self-criticism, like, oh, I can't be perfect at this. Because meditation is, when you start it, you're gonna fucking suck. Everyone fucking sucks when they start meditation, right? It's very hard to shift the brain in that way. And it's all about patience, right? And that is completely like parallel to the patience that you need for yourself. Because Virgo moons are very, especially as a Capricorn rising, which is all about success and all about like projecting like a very responsible, sometimes traditional um, outer shell, I guess you could say. I always tell people with Cap rising that like if they're at a job interview, right, and it's them with 4 other people, everyone's exactly equally qualified. The person with the Capricorn rising is gonna get the job because they just elude that, exude that innate responsibility that people can just so easily see, right? Why does it say return to the meeting? This is so weird. I'm trying to think if I should just like put this in 2 parts. That'd be very disappointing. Maybe I just need to share the screen. Like every time, okay, so I'm like looking at your chart, so I'm not seeing myself on camera. And then when I go back to the camera, it says return to meeting, which is very odd because usually I go back and it's there. Let me think for a second about what the best way forward is. I think I'm gonna pause it and Okay, so I couldn't find any information. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to um do this in two parts, and I'll know very quickly, like based on like how, like if it's like if it wasn't recording me when and like when I was speaking for most of the time, it will be like very much like it'll like finish the download in like 2 seconds, and then I pretty much have to restart everything. Um, if not, if it's slow, then I can just like restart right away where I was. And let's pray. So yeah, I'm sorry, it'll be a two-part video, but I just, yeah,